Greetings and merry meet. My name is Symbian. The balefires have all been lit. A circle of sacred stones has been set upon the earth. The evening is nigh, so come, rest thyself by our fire. Leave all fears outside the circle, and enter by our eastern gate. This has been done since ages past. Thou art safe, friend, and are welcome here. Merry meet. Hail and welcome. My name is Symbian Miller, and I'll be your host for the next little while. It seems like decades since the last time I uploaded a video to my YouTube channel, and for that I do apologize. I've been through quite a bit. I've been through one more heart attack, which makes 4 in all, congestive heart failure, and a rather sudden move to a brand new and better residence. So, which you see in the backdrop. In the future, I'll be sharing the room with another person, but so far, they haven't booked the other bed. So, it's a shared bathroom, and we go down to eat in a cafeteria-style kitchen, dinette, and our meds are prepared for us. So a lot of the things are taken care of for us, which helps me out big time. Takes a lot of stress and worry off my mind. Anyway, with this new series, which I call the New Beginnings 2.0, I'm going to be focusing more on male witchcraft, the male aspects, the God aspects of the craft. Because the God has been sort of taking a back seat for too long, I think. It's time to reawaken the male aspects of the craft. We'll be talking about drawing down the sun, or the God, forming a male crafted circle, working on male-oriented tools, the male aspects of spells and rituals, the male aspects of the Esbats and Sabbats, the 8 Esbats and the Sabbats. I'm repeating myself, aren't I? Damn, getting old. Anyway, this is what it's going to be. So please stay tuned. The next segment that you were going to talk about is on shadow magic. So stay tuned back. What is shadow magic? The best way to think of shadow magic is the expression of a dark horse coming at you. You don't see it coming, so you're not prepared for it. Your shields are down, so to speak, so the dark horse can slip in and make whatever corrections needed and then slip back out without any fuss, no muss, and the task is accomplished. Now with shadow magic, there's a certain few requirements that you need. You need to have the clearest line of channel to your target with very few forms of resistance. Something like a picture of your target, or some personal object that has an imprint of your target on it, like a stone the target has touched or has come in contact with, that type of thing. Now, the thing about shadow magic, it's designed to fulfill a form of correction. Now, let me give you a sort of a wide spectrum example. Let's say someone is yammering at me about not having this and not having that, and busting my chops, busting their chops, trying to, get me to agree with their particular situation. And I finally get so fed up with it that I decide to do something. Now, what shadow magic is comparative to me asking deity, or the God and Goddess, the God in this instance, to give the person the life lessons that they have been asking for, and to give it to them in spades, full blown, full power, and see how they handle it. And for me, that's a fair form of justice. If they can handle it, fine, they'll survive. If they can't handle it, they will pass into the next incarnation, because they'll fail at it with this particular incarnation, which is usually the case because people aren't ever that prepared to learn a life lesson, particularly if it comes in full intensity. But that is an example of shadow magic. It comes very quickly. You're not ready for it. Your defenses are down, and the correction is at least attempted to be applied. Whether it is or not is totally up to the target. But one of the things also with shadow magic is that once you have sent the energy out, you change your own frequency so that you do not become a target. But I'll talk about that in the next couple of segments. It's referred to as like an energetic blowback, which is sort of like a backdraft. The fire is spreading one direction, but because of certain vacuums that are created, the fire actually goes both directions, comes back towards you. But we'll talk about that in a couple of segments. So the next segment we're going to be talking about is how do male witches raise a cone of power. So stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. Now, how do male witches raise a cone of power? Well, first let's take a look at how female witches raise a cone of power. They dance in circle, they chant, and the chant and the dance gets faster and faster and faster until it finally peaks, and then the priestess herself, who is an embodiment of the goddess, allows the bubble to break, so to speak, and everyone projects at that time the energy out to the target. Singular will, singular mind, singular target. And that's how traditional cone of power is worked on. But for a male, we have a few more options available. We can still dance and we can still chant, and we can dance in circles faster and faster until the energy is ready to peak, and then we blow it out. We pop the bubble. Dance is one form. Another form, which nobody ever considers, is like a martial arts kata, which is a set standard of steps and positions in martial arts, like pushing hands for Tai Chi, or circle, or sending energy out, or giving energy in. We do that with magical intent rather than just energetic intent. That's another form, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to, talk about the elephant in the room. Another form of raising energy is masturbation for males. We can rub one out, and when we reach orgasm, the point of orgasm, we link that to our target, to our intent, and we project it out to burst the bubble. That's another way of doing it. There are different ways, some more complex than others. I prefer martial arts kata because it's more of a controlled energy raising. The energy is larger quantity as far as I can feel for myself, and the point where the bubble is burst is more easily controllable. So I like using a martial arts kata that has intensity and pump, ballistic force. That's one of the things that we can use with a martial arts kata. Now, the caution here is that with normal martial arts, there's a degree of anger that is used. Now, when you're using martial arts for magical purposes, you have to devoid of the anger. Still use the force in the ballistic projection, but not with any emotional anger attached to it. With intent and with the energy that you're raising, but not with sort of an emotion attached to it. Sometimes that can be hard, and you have to train yourself to be able to separate the emotion from the action. But it's possible. And because I've had both a military and a martial arts background, it's a little bit easier for me. And because I'm sort of an empath for a male, which is sort of unusual, I can feel if there is any negative emotions attached to the energy I want to project. And if there is, I'll try and separate it away. So it's just the energetic component along with the intent and where my target is, and the ballistic force that I'm sending it out with. But for long-term energy building, if you want to lengthen it out, Tai Chi is a good form of slow energy building. Also a martial art called Falun Gong, and I'll explain that in the next video I make. But for this series and that's basically how to raise a cone of power. So the next aspect that we're going to show, the next segment, is on ritual and spell blowback. Now, I talked on that briefly before, so stay tuned and we'll get into that. That'll be our last segment for this program. So stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. Okay, this last segment for this particular episode is on ritual and spell blowback. Now, it's sort of a line of common sense. When you're trying to establish a link to your target, you sort of have to put yourself in the space of occupying the same frequency or vibration as your target in order to generate a link between you and the target. That's the open channel that you use. That's where you would raise energy and send the energy through that line of contact. Now, what causes blowback is that after you send the energy out, if you don't change your own energy immediately, some of the energy that you send out is going to blow back to you and affect you. That's why some rituals fail. So the one thing that I would recommend us male witches doing is, once we break the bubble and burst the bubble and send the energy to its target, we immediately change our own personal frequency to something either higher or a lot lower. I prefer higher. So what I'll do is I'll allow myself to drift into a higher space meditation for, at least 10 minutes or so, until I know that the energy has reached its target and has affected any sort of correction that goes out or has affected my target. After that's happened, I can go back to like normal living space frequency and that type of thing. But changing my frequency, making it higher by meditating or listening to very, very celestial music, feeling myself uplifted, changes my frequency so that I no longer become a target. And that's basically what ritual and spell blowback is, and how to prevent it. How to prevent yourself from being affected by the ritual that you do, or becoming a target for the ritual that you do. Because establishing a contact line between you and your target means that you pretty much have to put yourself in the same frequency space as your target. At least until the energy is sent out. Then you change your target, you change your frequency. Anyway, that is the last of our segment, so we'll wrap up in just a few moments, so stay tuned. Hey guys, I want to take this opportunity to do a little bit of a shout out. I have a few people that I do want to thank for giving me the courage and encouragement to set up a YouTube channel. One is Samantha Valenzuela, Sammy, on the rockscrystals.com. How's that for a plug, Sam? And another one is Mojo and Sparrow of The Wiggly and Way. It's an audio podcast and a form of witchcraft that is extremely easy to work on. And the Wigglians are very people friendly, very understanding, and very, very compassionate and helpful. I have never met Mojo or Sparrow in person, but from listening to a few years of their podcasts, you sort of get to know them in a way, and they come across to me as very stable, very kind-hearted people who work some very powerful magic and in interesting ways. They're modern, but they're also old as well at the same time, which is sort of an oxymoron, I guess. But both Sammy, thank you very much. I will always love you for giving me the fire under my butt that I so needed, and giving me the courage to get in front of the camera and get behind the mic and share my thoughts and my opinions and my wisdom, if you want to call it that, with my most intimate friend, you folks. So, thank you, Sam, for doing that for me. And thank you, Mojo and Sparrow, for pretty much doing the same thing, indirectly. You didn't even realize you were doing it. You got yourself a fan right from the very start, and I just love the way you guys do things. Love the way you encourage people. And Mojo, yes, it is all about the love. I love you too, both. Yeah. So be well, guys. Give me feedback if you like. I always appreciate feedback from my close friends. So talk to you in a little bit while. Merrily we have met this night, and merrily we shall part. But merrily we will meet again to mark a magical start. Thou art God and Goddess, two is one. So mote it be, so be it done. So blessed be this sacred night, for all who entered have seen the sight. Blessed be. I just wanted to thank you folks, the viewers, my fans and friends, for watching. Please feel free to share these videos, download them, friend me on Instagram, on YouTube, and check the little notifications here on my YouTube channel, so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll get notified immediately. But overall, thank you guys for watching, for taking the time to even bother to check me out. It makes a great deal of difference. Please feel free to comment and offer constructive criticism. Any hateful criticism will be deleted, and you will be banned if you offer hateful criticism. But constructive criticism and kind words will always be allowed. So, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.